Hello everybody, how's it going? We hope you had a great 4th of July weekend, Independence Day weekend. We hope you spent it with family and friends and just had a great day. So one of the things I want to talk about after this Independence Day is what independence means to you as far as personally. Let's talk a little bit about what independence means. You know, independence means breaking free from something, or freedom from something, freedom over somebody controlling you, freedom over somebody's authority over you, breaking free from influence and being free. So with this Independence Day that just passed, why not make it a day personal to you of your independence? So, you know, let's take a stand on our life. Take a stand on your life. Start doing things differently. And we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to get into that and talk. We're going to have a new series here and talk about some of that. And what we're going to talk about is some of the mechanics of why we do what we do, and why we come up short, or why maybe we succeed at a lot of things. There's reasons for that. Nobody's ever perfect in any of this. Nobody's perfect at anything I'm talking about. Nor are any of us free from a lot of these things we're talking about. But where we want to be is we want the goodness in our life, the positive emotions in our life, to outshadow and outweigh the negative emotions in our life. And that's what we're going to talk about. You know, our life is made up of emotions. And if we don't take a stand, if we don't take authority over our emotions, over our thought life, we'll wind up being led by fear, and we'll wind up having a life full of negative emotions, and with those negative emotions, have a whole book full of negative in your life. You'll come up short in a lot of things in your life. If you're fear led, you're gonna have a lot of different issues that stem from that, whether it be relationship issues, whether you race dirt bikes, motocross, whatever kind of racing you do, or maybe you're into something else that's going to have an effect on you. Because most of what we do is, yeah, there's a physical piece to it, but the physical piece will all fall apart if we don't have the mental piece down. So we really got to have some emotional intelligence, and that's what we're going to discuss here. So take this journey with us. Rock that culture. Have a culture of cool from the inside out. Being cool isn't what you wear. It's not an external thing. It's internal. Everything beautiful in this life is based on from the inside out, internally. So if we're going to have that internal beauty and that internal joy, we have to have a good thought life. We have to have a good emotional life. You know, our life is full of emotions. Every thought we have thousands of them. You know, I've read somewhere where we have 50,000 plus thoughts a day, and every single one of those thoughts is wrapped in an emotion. And if we simplify things, that emotion is either positive or it's negative. And people are split up into two categories. We either have a foundation of negative emotions, or we're that person that typically has positive emotions. And we're going to talk why is it that one person is full of negative emotions and the other is full of positive. One of the reasons is this thing called fear. You know, there's that fear, that fight or flight. You know, that flight. If I see a big grizzly bear behind me, I'm probably going to have some fear come over me. Right or wrong, it's going to cause a rush of adrenaline, and I'm going to run like hell. But the majority of fear is a mental fear, and that mental fear does zero for us. Actually, it hurts us. So probably, I don't know, I think I read in some psychology books where they've determined that the majority of our fear that we have in our life is 90% mental. So if it's mental, that is fear that hasn't even happened yet. It's wasted effort, it's wasted energy, it's wasted emotional energy, and that 90% will lead you into a negative emotional life. And we can't have that. If we want to, that just opens the door to fear leading us day after day, minute by minute. Fear has its teeth sunk into us, and there's no breaking free from it if we continue on that path that we are and not challenging our thinking and thinking about what we're thinking about. It starts with awareness, and that's what we're going to talk about. We have to be aware, and we have to be brutally honest with how we handle situations. We have to be brutally honest with the way we think about things. We have to be brutally honest with the way we react to things if we're ever going to have that transformation and switch. It's so important to our well-being in life. We weren't born to struggle with everything. We weren't born to be afraid of everything. That is learned. We're born to win, but we program ourselves to lose. Fear is learned. We practice it. It becomes a habit. But on the opposite of that, faith overcomes that fear. So, I haven't always been spiritual. Up until recently, I'd never even read the Bible. But when I talk about truth, for me, I'm referring to the Word, the truth, the Holy Bible. I'm a Christian. But I'm not here to judge. Your truth may be coming from something different. Your truth may be coming, you may be Buddhist, or you may be some other denomination or some other religion. That's your deal. But we have to have a foundation. We have to have a belief system. In order to take a stand on your life, you have to have a culture. You have to have a belief system. Just like a tree, if you don't have roots, you're going to topple. So what is your culture? Have some metal to you. If you want to defeat and overcome in this life, you better have a culture to you. If you're fear-based, have you ever thought about that word fear? What does it mean to you? I used to throw that word fear around all the time. Even before I was spiritual, I'd just say, keep the faith. It kind of sounds cool. That word faith sounds cool. But I'll be honest with you, all them years, I never really gave it a thought. I always kind of wondered what it is because you can't touch it, you can't see it. Faith is something, I used to say all the time, keep the faith. But what does faith really mean? Faith is something that you can't see. Faith is something that isn't physical, but it's there, and there's some awesomeness that comes from having it. So what does faith mean? Faith is something that you believe in. Faith is something you trust. Faith is something you get an assurance in. And awesomeness comes from that. Joy comes from that. Just a wonderful life comes from that. Doesn't mean you're going to be absent from problems. No, they'll always be there. You'll always be under attack. The attack's invisible. It's an invisible war that you must go to battle with. You must take a stand on your life. But if you're not faith-led, fear is going to move into that spot, and you're going to be fear-led. And when you're fear-led, fear affects everything in your life and will ruin everything great in your life. When you're fear-led, that's where insecurity comes from. That's where self-doubt comes from. That's where unbelief comes from. You're worried. You compare yourself to every girl or guy that walks by you. You wish you had her boobs. You wish you had her butt. He wishes he looked like him. He wishes he had his sponsors or his new bikes or his gear. You're full of envy, full of jealousy, and it just cuts your life short. You're actually led by it. And you're led by something that is plumb stupid. It is dumb. It is crap. It is not real. It's something that you manifest in your mind. And the only way to overcome that is by wisdom and believing in the right stuff. In order to believe in the right stuff, you have to know truth. That will change your life. That will transform you. Unlike a person that's comparing himself to somebody else or jealous of somebody else, the faith-based person, the person with strength. See, we weren't born with the spirit of fear or cowardice. That is learned. A faith-based person is saying, hey, he looks great. Hey, she looks great in that. Hey, she has confidence to wear that. You know, hey, he deserved to get that sponsor. He's doing great. I'm happy for him. That's the difference. You don't secretly hate people. You don't talk crap behind people's back. You're worried about yourself. You ride your own ride. This person doesn't ride their own ride because they're too damn busy worrying about what everybody else is doing. Ride your own ride. You want to see lap times improve? Ride your own ride. Roll up to the gate and worry about yourself. Roll up to the gate and believe in yourself and crush fear. Crush doubt. Defeat and overcome. Take a stand on your life. Let this Independence Day be something special to you. Let this be a day you take a stand on your life and you watch your life transform. Take this journey with us. We're going to talk about the different mechanics and elements that how all this takes place. We're going to take this journey with us. We're going to be visiting about why we do what we do. Why do we think the way we do, and how do we change that? If you think somebody needs to rock a new culture, if you think you want to help somebody rock a culture of cool from the inside out, share this video. Tag a person. We want to help people. You know, this is faith culture. Our checkered flag means stay in the race. I don't care what it is. Stay in it. Stay believing. Stay in the race. This race we call life. Think right. You will defeat and overcome if you think right and you stay in the race. If you give up, fear will move in. When I say stay in the race, that means keep believing. Keep pushing forward. When you're coming through a rutty corner, if you look down, what happens? Compared to looking through the corner, looking ahead. Stay in the race, defeat and overcome. Develop a culture. Share our culture. We appreciate it. Thanks for following us. We love your feedback. Comments are always welcome.